Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. I can't find my normal stand that I normally do for making my videos, but this will work. So today I wanted to make a video because it's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, to just talk about some of the special men that have been in my life and that I have well, of course there's my father, and then there's those people that have played a father figure into my life. So I grew up super blessed. None of my family that lived around me, they were all full families, and just so I had so many people pouring into my life, and so many great men, which not everybody has that privilege and gets to say that. So I was born in Florida, so for the first 2 years of my life it was just my mom and dad and me, and my dad was always present and always there right by mom and I's side, and has just done so much for us. My parents found out that I had medical issues at a very young age, so then they ended up moving back to Indiana, and we lived with my grandparents. So I don't remember this, but they've told me stories of when I would eat breakfast with my my grandpa, and my grandparents let us live with them for 4 months, and so I have memories of eating breakfast with my grandpa, sitting on my grandpa's lap. And when I say my grandpa, this is my dad's dad, sitting on my grandpa's lap eating popcorn, watching movies, riding in the combine, riding in the tractor. Just, they have always been there. And they're still very much a part of our lives. And so that's just a blessing, because not as many people can say that. The only grandparents that I never met were my 2 great-grandfathers on my mom's side. They had passed away before I was born, and so I've never met them, but I've met both my great-grandpas on my dad's side. One of my grandpas was more, outspoken, and he would joke, and I kind of remember him as being ornery, but he was always just happy to see us. It was never, none of my family has ever sat there and said, well, you're not welcome, you can't come in. They were always so excited to, see us, and would tell us to come back, when we could stay even longer, and were just there for us. I don't remember really physically doing a whole lot with my great-grandpa Scales because he was older, but I do just remember sitting in his living room and listening to him to tell stories, playing with the toys at his house. Just memories. And then my great-grandpa King, again, on my dad's side, we would be over at their house all the time. And so I think I've ridden in the tractor with him a few times, probably the combine a few times. Now, he was a grandfather that was very quiet, but he never yelled at us. He was never, I don't remember him ever being cross towards grandma. Just a quiet man that served. Always very hardworking. Grew up on a farm, working from sunup to sundown, and then even when he wasn't able to do that, he was, finding things to do to still have a purpose. And great grandpa King was my last great grandpa that was alive when I got married. And so he had a stroke before the wedding, so he didn't say a lot, but he was there. Some people, like, when they're in those situations and they've had those hard times go through their life, they could just sit there and say, well, sorry, I'm done, or I'm not going to work, at living. But he still lived, he still did, and he was in our lives. I remember him and Grandma coming to our 4-H sales. They would bid on our animals. They would help buy our animals. I remember them coming to basketball games and watching basketball games. Coming and being present at birthday parties. That's something that my great-grandpa Scales would not do. And he didn't let my great-grandma Scales do it. So they weren't at our birthday parties. But Grandma and Grandpa King, they were at our birthday parties. They were at get-togethers. They were there. They were a part of our lives for as long as they possibly could be. And that is something I will never forget. And it means so much to us. And then, so that's my great-grandfathers. And then my grandpas are both still alive and doing amazingly. My Grandpa Johnson, which would be my mom's dad, came and flew down with my Grandma Scales when I was born. They flew to Florida to see me, and they brought this thing that I don't even know that I've ever seen, but they've told stories of it. It's like this clown, and so this clown sat between them and the, like, it was a wooden thing, sat between them on the plane. And growing up, I lived 2 hours away from my great-grandpa Johnson, or not my Grandpa Johnson. And so I didn't see him a lot, but we would get together for Thanksgiving, we'd get together for Christmas, he was always around for birthdays, and he would come and help out on the farm, and he came to Grandfather's Day at preschool, he came to Grandfather's Day when I was in college, he came to my graduation from high school. He was as much present as he possibly could be. And so it meant a lot. Sometimes if people live a far distance away, they sit there and say, well, then I don't have a responsibility to that family member. I don't have a responsibility to be in their family. And he didn't see it that way. He tried to be in our family as much as he possibly could. So that means a lot. So, back to the people I was talking about earlier. The two men that I would say have really shaped who I've become would be my dad and my Grandpa Scales. And that's because they are the ones that I saw almost on a daily basis. My grandma and grandpa literally lived 5 minutes away from my parents' house, and so they were always there, and always there for us, and it was never, oh, you can't come over for dinner, or oh, we're too busy for this. They've always had time for us. They've always joked around with us, and been there for us. And what I want you to understand is my grandpa and my dad are very busy guys. Until my grandpa retired, he sold John Deere equipment, and then he farmed. So that's like 2 jobs. And then my dad sells insurance, and then he farms. 2 jobs again. And my grandpa Scales, until less than a month ago, was spending any other spare time he had taking care of his mom. And so these are both men that have shown me that they care, that they love, that they're willing to step up and be there for those that they need to be, and just love in powerful ways. Now, I don't know that I really heard them sit there and say, I love you out loud that much, but my family is made up of doers, and they're really, really good at showing their love. And so that's something I value. And like I've said before, I had so many different surgeries and doctor appointments and things growing up. My dad figured out a way to have a job that had flexibility so that he could be by my mom's side to take me to doctor appointments, to take me to surgeries. Anytime I had to stay in the hospital, my dad would be the one to stay with me, because he was the one that could help me get to the restroom. He could carry me to the restroom, and just, he was there. I've cost my parents a lot of money, and they could have easily sat there and said, when I got to, the college level of, well, we had to spend all this money for you during your childhood on surgeries, now we're not going to pay for your college. That was never a thing that my parents have said. And even they've helped us, beyond that point. So I'm just very, very thankful for the service and the gentleness and what Dad has shown us, what it means to serve and to love, and to really be there for people. It's meant a lot to see that. And so, excuse me. So yeah. And then around 8th grade, I would say, is when it really started. This other guy came into my life, and that is Thomas's dad. And he has shown me I've seen what it looks like to be a parent and a father, and a father that serves, and at a different level. Okay, because my dad was blessed to have his dad right around the corner, and to be there for each other. Dan has had to figure out a lot of this father stuff on his own. Okay, Thomas will be 5 this year, or I guess next year, in January 2021, Thomas will be 5. And Dan and I have had to figure out, what does this parenting look like? How do we do this and that? And we've had to figure out a lot of it on our own, or seeking guidance and direction from a distance. And so, and Dan he has stepped up in amazing ways. As a father, as a husband, he's just really been there for us. And he has been serving me as somebody that truly cares from the day we first met. And so now it's really cool to see how he interacts with Thomas and the twins, and just his gentleness and caring. And not only that, his students. The amount of time and effort and things that he puts into curriculum, and how can I do this differently for the kids, and how can I make this exciting for the kids, and how can I have these conversations so that they understand the science concept we're talking about. It's been really cool to watch. And he is amazing through airports. He is the one that is carrying the loads and getting us through, and making sure that we get there on time. You know, if we're sitting on the airplane, he's always the one that's willing to sit by Thomas. Just goes above and beyond, and honestly, for what we've been through since the end of March, I've been the one that has sat there and said, you know, multiple times, I don't want to do this anymore. It's hard. Like, I just want out. He is just quiet and keeps serving and keeps doing, and he's amazing. And so, and we have always said that our relationship might have to look different than others, but we'll get through, we'll get it done, and he stepped up to that challenge, and especially in the area of being a father and loving and caring for these girls that we know that we can't keep. You know, that is just, I think that's stepping up and being a father to a whole new level. You know, fostering kids, pouring money into them, serving them, being there for them, and knowing that we probably will not see them beyond, you know, after they turn 2.5. And so it's just been really special to see all that he's willing to do for them. And I've also seen his dad serve in that way. His dad has been very, very gentle and loving towards Thomas and me, and it's been amazing to see how he interacts with Dan. And just, yeah, we have all these great, caring men in our lives that have just meant so much to us. I've got uncles that have stepped up and been there for us, and just, you know, they want to be in Thomas's life. They want Thomas to know who they are, and you know, even if they don't get to see Thomas on a regular basis, they just pick up where they left off with him. And, you know, they're caring for him and loving on him just in the moment. And that just, it means a lot that they're, you know, a part of our support system and there for us and caring for us. So, anyways, those are the wonderful men in my life that just make Father's Day so special to celebrate. And I'm so grateful for all of them and the example that they have set, and how much they love us and how much they love Thomas. So that's it for today. I hope you have a great day. Bye. God bless.